Welcome, everyone. My name is Jamila, and I will be your host for today. This is for our one-day summit, Embodied Stress Release. And this session is called Somatic Activated Healing with Sa DeSimone. And it is a 75-minute experiential session. So just get yourselves ready. It's going to be amazing. And as we gather, we also like to acknowledge that the land we live and work on is the traditional territory of many Indigenous peoples. And so we respectfully honor these people, cultures, and traditions. And with that, let me go ahead and introduce you to our amazing facilitator today, Sa DeSimone, a visionary, spiritual leader, best-selling author, founder of the Somatic Dance Institute, and creator of the Somatic Activated Healing, Sa Method. Host of the podcast Solving the Riddle of Being Human and the Big Celebrity Detox on the UK Channel 4, blending Buddhist practice, contemplative psychotherapy, and kinesthetic learning. Sa's trauma-informed approach has earned acclaim worldwide. His work spans from Cedars-Sinai Hospital to grassroots initiatives, earning recognition from Los Angeles County. A testament to resilience, Sa transforms personal struggles into a beacon of hope and spirituality and healing. And with that, I would love to turn it over to you, Sa. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much, love. Thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody. Hi. Nice to see you all. Oh my goodness. I've been hearing you guys have had an incredible day so far. But before we go anywhere, I want to just take a moment for us to do what I call somatic checkpoint. So take a moment to observe how are we doing in this present moment. And the way to do this in a trauma-informed environment, we offer choice. Eyes open. So just kind of let your gaze drift somewhere that isn't moving perhaps. Or lower the eyes completely. And just really come into a posture that invites relaxation and ease. And I want you to take an inventory of your inner world. And observing how the mind is doing. Maybe we notice that the mind is looping, ruminating, stuck, closed. If the mind is orienting more towards this discursive thinking, rumination, stuckness, then you can look at it as with a non-judgmental inventory of 1 through 10, you know. And 1 being closer to a 1 would be, discursive thinking is turned up to its max. Perhaps there's a pattern that's looping. Perhaps there's a memory that's been surfacing all day, closer to a 1. And if the mind is more peaceful and present, and there's spaciousness and openness and keyword, curiosity, closer to a 10. And then let's drift our awareness and start to have a observation of our bodies. How is the body doing right now? As you observe and scan your body, is there tension in the body? And within the category of tension, we are looking at sensations, feelings, emotions, all that visits us constantly. And if in this moment, perhaps the body is free of tension, or perhaps it's leaning more towards a pleasant or neutral state, then you're closer to a 10. Or if the body is kind of contracted and you notice a lot of tension and rigidity and perhaps pain, physical, emotional, then closer to a 1. And then from this place, you may have said, oh, my mind is kind of okay. I feel like a 5. And my body is kind of okay, not too much tension, not too much relaxation. It's just kind of neutral. Maybe it's like a 5. So add up these two numbers and divide it by 2. Not to put us to do math. I'm not a math person at all. But I want you to get to know this somatic checkpoint, this inventory, so you have this as a tool to know where you're at constantly, because awareness of how we're doing inside helps us to not see the world through how we feel. Because if we see the world through how we feel, oftentimes it could lean towards a very myopic or kind of a you know, I hold myself back from using this word so often, as within Buddhist jargon, it's easy to say, but through a lens of suffering, because oftentimes we're not feeling so great. So we tend to see the world as not as such a great place. So put it in the chat. Where are you at on a scale from 1 to 10? Now that you've observed the quality of the mind, observed the quality of the body, where are you at 1 through 10? Let us see our humanity together. And really, really important as we're looking at our community showing this really vulnerable, invisible side of themselves, right? Because this is the invisible aspect of ourselves. It's really important that we remind ourselves that just like me, just like me, just like me, wow, just like me, just like me. Some of us are feeling more pleasant. Some of us are feeling more textured and unpleasant, just like me. So everyone, do your, like, really try to put how you're feeling right now in this very moment in the chat, just so we can get a awareness of what's going on. Beautiful. And it's natural to fluctuate because we are a moving experience. There's nothing static about who we are. We are a moving experience that comes together and falls apart, comes together and falls apart. Okay, so I want you to remember this number, because after we do our practice, it would be beautiful to see which direction you went into, you know? Okay, so from this place, I'm gonna need you to get some water, make some space in your house. I hope you're wearing something comfortable, because the practice that we're gonna do is a somatic dance practice, which, you know, implies dance. We're gonna move. We're going to let out some big, wild sounds. We're going to have fun as well. And as you've been hearing all day, and I will say this again, every hard experience that we've had in our lives, if we haven't had the time and the tools to process what happened as it happens, we will be left with a emotional residue in the body. And when there's a lot of emotional residue in the body, the mind tends to get very, very limited. We start to have mysterious pains in the body. We start to have all kinds of mysterious, difficult experiences in our mind, body, spiritual heart as well. So the premise of this practice is that through the combination of breath and movement and the practice of entering a state of trance through dance, we are creating a non-invasive flow of energy that enters the body and goes to the areas in the body where we're holding emotional tension. And the beautiful thing of it is that oftentimes we think we have to remember our stories, our painful narratives, in order for us to heal. In this somatic philosophy, we don't have to remember our painful stories in order for us to heal. We can address the soma, we can address the body, we can address the emotional residue that is lingering in our bodies right now. How often something small happens and we overreact or underreact. This overreaction or underreaction is a sign of unprocessed emotional residue. So this is where this body of work brings people in, you know, to invite us to remember that talking about our pain helps us to find a sense of belonging, helps us to create a sense of perspective, which is wonderful. However, in my view, and having done this work all over the world in really high places and really low places, right? From celebrities on TV to unhoused youth in Los Angeles. What we realize is that there is a need to to share our stories, to feel heard, to feel like other people relate to our pain as well. And there's something beautiful about that. However, the only way to change how we feel about our painful stories is to release the emotional baggage attached to them. This entire body of work is exactly about that. We are hoping and we have the tools to move difficult memories from the memory bank of tragic, painful, hard, terrifying into the memory bank of like, yeah, this happened, you know? So this is what this body of work is for. And the way to do this is when we are doing breath to movement, it's you really bring your whole self to the practice. And when we are doing the dance practice, which is where you are on your own a little bit, I'll give you guidance throughout the whole time. You really have to keep bringing yourself back. You know, this somatic activated healing practice combines 5 main practices. So we have meditation, breath work, affirmations, somatic postures, which is kind of the defrosting aspect of it, which is the part that people love and hate the most. And then we have the dance part, which is kind of fun. But it's also not just fun because I believe that dance without somatics, it's entertaining. But dance with somatics, it's healing. So that's what this work is for, is to help us find peace in the present moment by allowing the past emotional residue to make itself known to us and out. So during the practice, you may feel big feelings visiting you, or you may feel nothing at all. All good. Either way, the practice is here to help you develop your felt sense, your capacity to feel your feelings, not think your feelings. Can you hear that? Your capacity to feel your feelings, not think them. I think our whole lives, and as I start another sentence, as saying, I think our whole lives, we are habituated, socialized, and I want to go as far as saying colonized to think our feelings, to conceptualize, to narrate, to criticize, but to not actually be with the simplicity of a feeling and realize, oh, it's a passing sensation. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Maybe it doesn't define me, and maybe it's not the orientation of my life. Maybe feeling unwell right now isn't the definition of the trajectory of my life. How often we feel unwell, we feel a passing sensation of anger, we tend to see the whole world through that lens. In this body of work, the training in the Somatic Dance Institute and what I bring all around the world is to help people to feel what we feel when we feel without the added stories. When you catch a glimpse of that, of the simplicity and the miracle in that, woof, life changes. And I have to tell you, I had spent half of my spiritual journey running away from feeling, and I did it in a really holy way. I meditated on a mantra. I literally was vegan for 7.5 years. I was being of service in every possible way, and focusing on my breath only. Really beautiful, holy things. From the outside in, I was like, oh wow, that's holy. That looks really like that is. I want to do that. But what I didn't know, and what everybody else who were sort of looking up to me, thinking that I was doing the holy thing, we're all just confused. We're all just doing the thing that a lot of us were socialized to doing, which is to, distract ourselves from feeling. And then look at the state of the world today. People cannot stay for about 10 to 20 seconds without looking at their phone. You stop at a red light, phone comes on. You're in line at the coffee shop for 2 minutes, phone comes on. You're in the bathroom pooping, phone comes on. You're cooking, phone comes on. Everyone, the entire world, how it's constructed right now, is built on how quickly can I distract myself from being in my body. Because if I'm going to be in my body, I'm required to feel. And feeling doesn't have to be this dreadful, awful, hard thing. Because feelings are not here to hurt you. As Rumi, the beautiful queer mystic, has said, they're visitors that you have invited. You just forgot. So this work is helping us to re-socialize to a natural experience of feeling and letting go. Feeling and letting go. Feeling and letting go. Can you catch that? It's that simple. Feel and let go. It's that simple. The problem is we want to hold on to the feeling because it helps us to unconsciously, in a really twisted way, to perpetuate a self-fulfilling prophecy of misery, you know? And it's really, really twisted because, I say with a smile, because I did this for so long too. We unfortunately want to stay in our comfort zone. And our comfort zone, unfortunately, is built on habits that perpetuate us feeling unwell. And I don't mean physiologically unwell, but I just mean stressed, in a rush, distracted, wanting more, never enough. I don't belong anywhere. Nobody likes me. All these narratives. So let's begin. I hope this tiny little minor introduction landed at any, like, just a little bit, kind of arrived to you. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, let's do some cool stuff. All right, so get up, and let's have some fun, okay? And remember, I need you, you need you, your healing, your life needs you to be in your body for the next 50 minutes, okay? And maybe we should do a little less. Maybe we'll cut one segment so we can have a little bit of time for questions. Yeah, we'll do that. So be in your body. What does that mean? Anytime you catch yourself drifting into the future or the past or fantasizing or narrating or criticizing or pathologizing, come back. All of these streams of distractions that I named, it's that distraction. Pulling away from being in your body, pulling away from being here and now. No healing happens by you fantasizing about a future. No healing happens about you, replaying your past memories. It can only happen here and now. So this practice is about developing your capacity to rest in here and the now, so much so that it becomes annoying, but also beautiful, all right? So get up. I'm going to start bringing the music up for us. And I'm going to move my chair. And let's do the thing. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Okay. So from right here, from this place, strong posture will not look like you're standing at the coffee shop posture. Strong posture is a little bit wider. So there's two postures I need you to memorize right now. This is the coffee shop waiting in line posture, not this one. Because if I push you, you fall. I need agile. I need power. I need strength. So it's a little wider. And then there's a wider, even wider than this one, which is this one, okay? So get familiar with both of them and just sink here for a moment. And if your knees are tender, it's okay. You don't need to sink so deep. Okay? And start to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then back to this one. And it's here for a moment. Stand strong. Strong and powerful. And repeat in your mind right now, I'm willing to stay in my body even when it feels really uncomfortable. I'm willing to stay in my body even when it feels really uncomfortable. And it's important that when we come into these meditative points during the practice, we stay put. So we can actually feel the bubbling chaos. That's been lingering in our bodies. And then in your own version of these words, say it in your own authentic way. Here and now I am safe. Here and now I am safe. Here and now, 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 I am safe. So let it roll over and over and over again in your mind. Let these precious words become your anchor. If you close your eyes, open them up, and just take a look at me for a second. There's two ways for us to begin this next part of our journey. Either feet flat on the ground or with a little bit of the hop. We're going to shake for about 4 minutes. It's going to feel annoying. That's the point. It's going to feel like, oh my God, when is this over? That's the point. Okay? So 2 ways of shaking. Feet flat on the ground, or with a little bit of the bounce, a little bit of the hop. They both work. It's important that you stay in your body. It's important that you stay in the breath. And here's the key. You're inhaling through the nose and you're exhaling through the mouth. I'm going to bring this music up. And if this is not your first rodeo with me or on with the shaking, turn up the volume for yourself and meet the darkness by closing your eyes. Bringing the music up. And let's go there together. I'll meet you there. 3, 2, 1, go now. Inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling audibly through the mouth. Let out a sound. You've been holding back on the sounds that have been visiting your body for the last few decades. Let out a sound. Let it out. 2.5 more minutes here. Go. Shake it for your life. Shake it for your healing. Shake it for those who can't do this right now. Do it for all of us. Go. Stay here, breathe yourself in. Let out an exhale that's audible, that creates a sound. Keep it going, keep it going. Last minute here with the shake. Turn up the volume and see if you can lower the gaze and meet the darkness inside by closing the eyes completely. Last minute of the shake. Breathe deeply through the nose. Exhale audibly through the mouth. Let go. Let go. And for a couple moments here, just enjoy the music. Let it move you in ways that you haven't moved before. You've got a couple moments here on your own. Keep reminding your mind where your body is. Come back here. Breathe yourself new. New moment, new breath. New moment, new breath. You've got 2 more minutes here. Explore your movement. Explore the dance. Keep the mind in the breath. Keep the mind in the body. Stay here. Bring your attention here to the screen and meet me here. The wide stance, the wider one. Feet are facing the corners of the room, not facing forward. Corners of the room, okay? Like that. Corners of the room, all right? And then we're gonna sink. Inhale. One more time, sink again, inhale. And then it's like we're picking something up from the floor and offering up to the heavens. All right, so this is our move. It's going to burn. It's going to feel annoying. Let it be what it needs. Let it do what it needs to do. So inhale once, inhale twice. Pick something up, offer it up. Inhale once, inhale twice. All right, new songs coming on. We're going to go to the point of burnout. This is where the magic happens. I'll meet you there. All right? Let's begin. Let's begin. Here we go. Go now. finding your flow here. Keep finding your flow here. Slow it down if it burns too much, but don't stop. Stay in it, stay here. Breathe yourself new. Sink deeper at every time. One more minute here. One more minute. Let it burn. Let it burn. Breathe. 2 inhales, 1 exhale. We're almost there. Give me 2 more. Give me 2 more. Well done. Let it go. You're on your own now. Allow the beat. Allow the drum to do its tribal, ancient magic. Removing, releasing the past from your body. Let this beat, let this drum work its magic. Get out of the way and let it work its magic on you. Let it dance you. Let it move you. In the body. If the mind is overly active, move faster. Dance in a more strange and chaotic way. Remember, on the somatic dance floor, if a sound visits you, let it come and let it go. Stop holding back. The greatest, the ultimate 2 sentences, the ultimate 2 words that define the spiritual path is let go. Let it go. Whatever visits, let it go. and slowing it down, coming into a posture of non-movement. Posture of non-movement. Strong, strong. Not the wide. Shift your gaze completely right now. This is the most important point of practice right now. Shift your gaze. Turn your awareness inside, completely inside. This somatic checkpoint right here is the foundation of this work. Can you observe your inner landscape? Can you observe your inner landscape? Not think it, observe it. Not narrate it, not criticize it, not pathologize it. Just observe. Okay, you may be most obvious to you is the sweat. Maybe from there you're like, oh wow, my heart's beating really fast. And maybe from there you're like, oh wow, the quality of my breath has changed. You may be noticing, wow, my left arm is tingling. You may notice that a wave of grief is surfacing from the heart center up to the tip of your nose. Observe. 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 Do not get carried away. Do not add a story to every feeling. Stay here observing. It's in a miracle of observation that we witness the miracle of change. Can you hear that? It's in our capacity to observe with patience that we can witness the miracle of change. That everything in life has an expiration date. Staying here, observing. And you may notice a sensation in the body that's very alive and calling for you. Go to it and rest all of your awareness there. Just bring all of your attention to that place in the body. And offer the precious words. Hello, old friend. Thank you for visiting me. Treat all feelings, sensations, and emotions as visitors that you have invited, not intruders, not people who are here or experience they're here to violate and bring you down. They're helping us to be fully human. Hello, old friend. Thank you for visiting me. Thank you for visiting me. Noticing what happens when you offer sweetness and kindness. And then obviously noticing how far your mind has gone. Every time your awareness touches a sensation, a story populates. Every time your awareness rests on a feeling, a stories populate. It's your job on this somatic dance floor to resist the urge to narrate a feeling. Resist the urge to get carried away into conceptualizing every sensation. And before we enter the second phase of the practice, I'm going to try to share this really briefly here with you all. We have an opportunity to enter a trance state, which is one of the most tribal, ancient, indigenous ways of healing. What's required from us is a repetition of movements that may seem chaotic, that may seem unhinged, that may seem too insane to get too close to it. I'd rather stay here where it's safe. My invitation for you right now is to all of us go into that place where we let go of holding on, where we let go of ourselves in such a way that the dance could work its magic, its miracle, its indigenous, tribal, ancient prophecies of release, of healing. I'm going to bring the song up now. I felt like it's important to say this because I can't really see a lot of you on the screen, so I can't tell what's going on. But because of that, here's your invitation. Allow the movements to be as strange, as chaotic, as monster-like, because the more strange and chaotic it is, the more healing and liberation and lightness will be left behind. Are we communicating? Can you hear me okay with that? Yeah? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. I'm going to let you go for about 2.5 minutes on your own. Explore what I just shared. Let's go. I'll meet you there. And when you find comfort in the discomfort, when you find comfort in the strangeness, see if you can close your eyes or lower the gaze completely. I'll meet you there in that plane of non-duality where all concepts fade away. I'll meet you there. Go now. Get out of your head, back into the body, out of the thinking, into the breath. If the mind is active, overly active, move faster, dance wilder. Set yourself free, let it all go. Let yourself go. Let the music work its magic. Let the dance work its miracles. Go now, set yourself free. Lower the gaze, go inside completely. Deeply out together. Let's go. Exhale audibly. Let out a sound. Ah. Ah. Stay in your practice. Stay in your movement. Stay in the trance. Close the eyes. Go inside. I'll meet you there. Go now. Gazing up at the screen. Here's your next set of instructions. Open wide. Open wide. Samurai greeting right here in the middle. Right hand into a fist into your left. Bring it into your left hip area and sink. Inhale. Into the right. Inhale. To the center. Inhale. Hold. This is 3 breaths in. Hold. Holding. And then exhale forward. Swing back. Swing forward. Meet up here again. In. Hold. Out. We'll practice like this for about 90 seconds. Make it count. Make it count. Go now. 3 breaths in. 1. Soft, long exhale. Go now. Give me 2 more. Give me 2 more. And then remember your instructions to let go, to let the music dance you, to let the past dance itself through you and out of you. We're almost to the finish line. What is the chaotic, monster-like, strange movement that you allow to take over your body so the past could be danced out of you, through you? We're going to work with that for about 3.5 minutes here. If the mind goes into its habituated state of narration, criticization, pathologization, all of those come back. Move in a wilder, more chaotic and strange way. Okay? Allow the body to work its magic. Allow the tribal wisdom of trance practices to work its miracle. Allow the indigenous wisdom of trance practices through dance to work its miracles. I'll meet you there. Go there now.
Om Ahum Vaira Guru Padma Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Vaira Guru Padma Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Vaira Guru Padma Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Vaira Guru Padma Vaira Guru Padma Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Vaira Guru Padma Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Vaira Guru Padma Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Vaira Guru Padma Siddhi
Breathe in through the nose and an audible exhale through the mouth, letting out a sound of release, of let go. Ah! Well done. Stay in the movement, stay in the dance. Allow yourself to lose control. You're safe. You're safe here to lose control. Go. Let it all go. Let it all unravel through you and out of you. Inhale deeply, exhale audibly, and let yourself be free. Beautiful, 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 beautiful job. Oh my God. Well done. Interlace your fingers in front of you. Wide stance. Not this one. Not this one. The wider one. Okay? Inhale into a back bend. Make sure you're tucking in your tailbone so you don't hurt your lower back. Inhale, back bend. Exhale softly and audibly all the way through the knees to the point that your gaze becomes upside down. Inhale again, back bend as far as you can go. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I only need 3 more of these. Go. Actually, I need a minute of these. Go now. If you're just moving without the breath, stop completely. There's no point. I need the breath and the movement to be in complete partnership. As you move, you breathe. As you breathe, you move. Breath to movement. You've got another minute here. Go now. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, fold forward all the way through the knees, all the way to a perspective shifts.
I'm a rainbow to the rescue. Here I am. Want you to know you're. Can you understand? To the rescue. Here I am. Want you to know you're. Can you understand?
Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. From this place, we're just going to invite just a little bit more movement practice in here. Keep your stance wide, hands over the heart. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Peace fingers on both hands to the temples. Inhale again. Hold. And then exhale like you're picking something up and offering it up. So in action, looks like this. Okay? Begin again. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Hold here and listen to my words. Can you touch peace in a breath hold? Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Hold. Can you look inside as you hold the breath? And exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Hold. Can you look inside as you hold the breath? Exhale. Last one, make it count. Inhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hands go up. Stance gets shorter, closer. Hands come to the side of the body. The gaze gets lowered or closed. And right here, right now, I want you to observe how we started today's practice. That observation. How is the mind? How is the body? What's going on inside? What's happening in there? Using this precious opportunity to observe your inner landscape. Observing. And as we have developed our felt sense, our capacity to stay in our bodies, travel your awareness through your body and greet every sensation that feels most alive right now. Just say, hello, old friend, one by one. Maybe there's a little bit of a headache behind your left eye. Maybe your throat is parched. Maybe your heart is beating really fast. Maybe you notice a knot of anger in your stomach. Maybe you notice a pinch in your lower back. Maybe you notice that your knees are throbbing. Go to it all, subtle and textured, all sensations. Hello, friends, one by one. I'm going to give you a couple moments here. Just greet it all. Not for what you think it is, but for what it is. If the mind has drifted into the future or the past, or a story about what you're sensing, come back. Greet the feeling, greet the sensation, greet the emotion for what it is. Well done. As part of the tradition I come from, this does not make you a Buddhist, okay? This is just a symbol that works for every faith. You can bring your thumbs inside. It's a reminder that liberation already lives inside of us. You bring it inside your palms like this. You close it into a diamond shape, and you press it against the heart. And then from this place, let's just offer the merit. This is part of every faith. Our blessings are the blessings of all. As we receive these blessings from this practice, all the life-affirming, courageous, wild, insightful, creative, imaginative, all that landed for us today, all that release of stress that took place in our bodies during this practice, we offer to all beings. May all beings in this very moment release stress from their bodies. May all beings with no exception be free. May all beings far and wide, may beings in the prison system, may beings in refugee camps, may beings in war, may beings in government, may beings in the slums, may beings in hospitals, may beings far and wide, may beings that are seen and unseen, may all beings with no exception receive our blessings. As we receive the blessings, we pass them on. Beautiful job. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you for practicing with me today. Thank you for being part of the Embodied Stress Release Summit. It's really beautiful to be with you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have about maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, and I can answer any questions you may have. And this is a good time to put in a chat your experience. How was it for you? If you feel like you have embodied the stress release, if you feel like you've been able to let something go, or you've landed, you learned something new about your feelings. Oftentimes I hear from people, oh wow, I never really have been in my body before. It's the first time I experienced my feelings without stories. Beautiful.
Some of them are coming directly to me because we have the chat paused. Do you want me to read some of the ones that accidentally came to me? They're really beautiful.
Yeah, please read.
Yeah, someone said exactly what I needed. Thank you in all caps. Very helpful, so powerful, amazing, feeling so alive. That was wonderful. Thank you very much. One person has a question they want to ask. Lots of awareness of increased tensions in the body. A lot
Hmm.
of yawning afterwards. Made some space in my body. Quiet, calm, and sweaty. So much gratitude, so much gratefulness. Oh, it's so wonderful.
Yeah, there's so much of it here too. Feeling the chains breaking. I love this one because we are the sum of our lineage. Unfortunately, we can't escape our lineage. We can't escape the unprocessed stuff from mommy and daddy and from grandma and grandpa. You know, we are the sum. So as we do this work, we are doing this work for all who've come before, who will come after, and opening our hearts up to fit the whole world, you know? Beautiful. Wow. These are such good testimonies. Okay, beautiful. So, uh, you can follow me on social media at sadsimone.com, and you can find all of this material there too. And then I've done another one for Embody Lab as well, but you can follow me on social, and then there it's where you can have access to these practices. And oftentimes, we are so driven to intellectualize our healing and to intellectualize our lives, and then healing becomes really complicated. But I want to remind you that all the way that this practice has been put together is fresh, but it's not new. You know, somatics is, to me, you can also ask Dr. Scott about it. Him and I have a very similar view about this. It's ancient. You know, it's something that has the Himalayan sages and saints have put together thousands of years ago. We've just gotten really good at packaging in new ways. So what we're doing here, is just remember the the primal ways of healing, the simplicity of it, being in the body, releasing, you know. And then another thing too that I want to emphasize is um, what's something that I notice so often. People do not know how to feel their feelings. They don't know how to stop and allow a feeling to have its expiration date. We don't know how to just be with it until it passes. You know, we want to manipulate and control. And we want things to be exactly how we want them to be when we want it to be. And if that's the only time you're happy, you're not going to be happy very often. Okay? So this practice reminds us to not base our happiness in how we are feeling. Can you hear that? To not base your happiness in how you're feeling. This may be so foreign because you're like, I feel good. That means I'm happy. It's like, if that's the only time you're happy, I'm sorry, but you're going to realize sooner or later that you're not going to be happy very often. You know, what I teach is embodied mysticism. It's a state of openness, you know. That's the goal of the spiritual path to me, and what I teach is a state of openness. Can we be open to be grieving and grateful? Can we be confused and inspired? You know, because grief is to do human is to do grief, right? You're really quickly gonna realize as we age and we get sick and our realities change. Um, if our circumstances dictate how we feel and the depth of our awareness, then it's going to be really hard to do this insane human thing because it can be really confusing, you know. We are in the reality that our mothers die, you know. It's like it's so confusing to lose someone that you love. So let's take a question.
Yes, we
uh,
have several.
okay,
Oh,
good. Read
yeah,
them to me. I'm not seeing questions coming up.
perfect. They're in the Q&A box. Well, one of the main ones that has the most upvotes is people want the music. People want the links to the music. So I'm going to ask that one first in case you might want to
Oh
comment.
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I have, it's on my Spotify.
Yeah, and if you drop that in, and then I'll ask, there's two other really great questions. One is around, a few similar questions around doing this kind of guidance with people with disabilities or health issues or people who just have less mobility. What is there a particular essence of the movement that can be accessed by all?
Yeah, great question. So in this methodology, I train people to become teachers of this who are in wheelchairs, who have limited mobility. There's the most important thing is that if there is mobility with the arms, you could do all these moves with just the upper body. It's important that there's breath to movement. And then when we're doing the trance practice, see if you can activate the power of your imagination to visualize yourself in that trance practice. Visualize yourself dancing in a really wild, freeing way. So that is the simplest way to answer this question, because it's a whole body of work that I teach. So to offer this in like 3 minutes or 2 minutes, it's kind of it will be too reductionist of such a beautiful part of my work that I invite you to check out and get to know more and see, because it offers so much. There's so much room for all people to practice.
Oh, that's a wonderful comment. Sorry, I just have to read this one comment. This hour seriously released more trauma than in years of talk therapy. So much gratitude for you, Sa, and all the healers today. Thank you.
Can I just say one thing? If you only knew how many times I hear this exact thing. I hear 10 years of therapy in an hour. Oh my God. Like I hear this every single session, and we do sessions, once or twice a week. So it's beautiful to hear. I just want you to realize that talking alone won't set you free. It's going to perpetuate a victim and a perpetrator. It's going to perpetuate someone being to blame and someone being the victim. And that is not the story of freedom. Okay? So if we can find our way through that, and I know it's difficult in a world when we all have been abused, hurt, in a variety of different ways. It's hard to hear that. But if you're seeking to be happy and well, then I'm not your teacher. But if you're seeking to become free, then it's not that I'm free, but I know the way to it. I'm actively participating in that. So it's a little different. And actually, I should be honest, it's completely different. It's completely different. I don't want to be like, it's a little different. No, it's completely different. Okay? There is this massive release, okay?
People are also asking about where they can find practitioners. Is there a practitioner of this practice offering classes online? How do they become practitioners of this?
Yes. We have over 150 people that I've certified in the last few years of this. But I invite you to come to the social media, come join our community there, and then we can point you in a variety of different directions, where to go. But I'm glad this is lifting and inspiring and bringing release to you all. Yeah, and I'm never taken away from talking, honey. You can tell I like to talk. Hello, I'm a talker. But I also know that talking doesn't set me free. What sets me free is silence, presence, breath, which is the difference. Talking offers you different perspective. It makes you feel like you belong. But really quickly, what you realize that the unfelt feelings will surface again and again and again and again. When you're you're at Whole Foods, getting your groceries Tuesday, 2 p.m., it's like, oh, wow, I thought I talked enough. Oh, I'm back. So, yeah. Okay, question, what else?
Let's see here. Kind of to that point, when you do these sessions, Elizabeth had a question in relation to healing specific event trauma feeling. Do you address that at all with clients to talk
Say
about
that
it?
again.
So Elizabeth was asking, with healing a specific event or trauma or feeling, do you talk with clients at all at first, or do you go directly into the somatic dance and movements and the practice that you use?
That's such a good question, and I'm going to just a tiny little nugget. So within our methodology, we have a 5-minute frame of a boundary. So you're only offering us a newspaper clipping of what burdens your heart, what holds you back. We are noticing it's part of the training is to have somatic analysis, so we can see people's shoulders, what's being communicated, how they're resting their hand, where their eyes, like the how relaxed their eyes are on their face, how tense their body is. So through the training, you learn how to have the somatic analysis. You learn how to see how people are relating. Yesterday, I was talking to my sister. We're sitting at a cafe here in New York City, and I was saying, let's just watch. And I was strictly speaking to how tense people's bodies are, and we can see a lot of people don't have. And it's not that I want people to move like a 90s supermodel like Naomi Campbell, but it really, if you notice how the undulation of her body, like this kind of movement, relaxation, this snake-like movement, it's stripped away from culture. Women, people that identify as women do not even move like that anymore. Like that's been stripped away completely. And now if you are a male identified person and you move that way, ooh, bad, don't do that. That means you're queer, that means you're gay, that means you're going to hell. Now, it's just the space has gotten so, we've gotten so colonized by these views. It's robbing us from being able to walk the world like these like somatic moving experiences that we are. And in somatic analysis, you can really see, if you stop and watch people, how locked up they are. Their hips are like ahead of their body. Their shoulders are hunched over. Their hands are tight. Their jaws are tight. Their eyes are popping out of their face. It's like these are all things that we can really see, non-verbally, what's being communicated before you say a word. Like when you're drinking your tea, when you're drinking your water, when you're bathing, when you're like all of this, there's ways for you to like come back into your body and practice presence, existing in a way that's relaxed. If you pause and you sit at a cafe, if you have a walking culture in your city and you watch people, it's so telling how much emotional baggage people are carrying. Oh my God, to me, I was sitting at the cafe and I was like, whoa, can we just turn up a speaker? Can I just start bringing people into their bodies so we can release some shit? Because it was painful to watch. And I wasn't doing from a holier than now place. No, it was deep, aching compassion. It was just like, oh, whoa. A lot of these people can't leave the rat race. They don't know how to, they don't have, it's not that they don't even know. They can't take time away from all the jobs that they're working because it's required for them to keep the lights on, to keep the food at the table. I understand all this. So this is what was so aching for me. So all of you who have your basic needs taken care of, who are sitting here, who are practicing this, remember, like, what's being non-verbally communicated as you're walking, as you're talking, as you're drinking, like everything. If you're on your body, there's a relaxed tone. There's a dream-like quality to you. But if you're not in your body, if you're approaching the present moment from the future or from the past, it's always going to look a little like, nothing wrong with that. I've been there too. But there's something so beautiful about that. When you're walking the streets later today or tomorrow, be that person. Be that undulates the whole spine. Is this beautiful movement. You're going to invite people to be back in their bodies. And now I'm going to go back to that question, the 5-minute frame thing. We don't engage in stories. We analyze the somatic, we do the somatic analysis, we see how people are locked in and tight, and that's so clear to us that there's work that has to be done there. And we always invite people to, every single person who's doing somatic coaching with our people, to have a therapist. It's important to talk, to feel like your story isn't that you're the only person holding it. It's important to have someone to listen to you non-judgmentally, listen to you in a beautiful way. You know what I'm saying? And then come to the floor when you're ready to release it. But there has to be this difference. I'm ready to be free. It's hard because so many people who come to study with me or come to our class and things, they're so locked into their stories being who they are. But there's more to you. There's more to you than your sad stories. Can you hear that? There's more to you than your sad stories. I have a lot of sad stories, a lot. Oof, that's why I'm really good at my work. Because I have a lot of sad stories. But I don't let them take me down. I mean, that's not true. I go and I'm like, oop, okay, enough. Let's go. Enough, enough. So yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for this today. We are reaching that boundary of time, and thank you for everyone for staying a bit later. I know we could want this to go on I want this to go on all night.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you
but
so
thank you
much.
all. Please put some love in the chat for this beautiful human and this beautiful practice. And I know it was freeing for so many of us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share some love in the chat.